We're going to go ahead and call the regular meeting of the City Council of the City of Poplar Bluff, Missouri to be held on Monday, July 15th, 2024, 7 p.m. in the City Council chambers. Our invocation tonight will be from Reverend Steve Patterson from the Temple Baptist Church. Please stand for the invocation and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let's pray together. Our Father, thank you for the privilege of having allowed me to be raised in Poplar Bluff, Missouri, and all the good that has come from that. Thank you for allowing me to have raised my family in Poplar Bluff, Missouri, and for the blessings that has provided for not only myself, but so many who call this home. Lord, thank you for home. Thank you for these who sacrificially serve you, that it can be home for so many. And Father, help us to understand that we come tonight asking you to do for us what we cannot do for ourselves. Humbly asking your wisdom to be imparted, that your presence here would be tangible, and that, Father, these who make these decisions would do so after deliberation with you. And I pray that that has been done. Thank you for their service. Bless them and bless our city. We ask it in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Patterson. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Clerk Phelps.
Councilman Boyer?
Here.
Councilwoman Horton?
Here.
Councilman Smith?
Here.
Councilman Massingham?
Here.
Councilman DePew?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Parson?
Here.
Mayor Cornman?
Here.
We have 7 present.
Item 5, disclosure of interest. Any member of the City Council may disclose any possible conflict of interest dealing with either any item on the printed agenda or with any matter discussed at a previous meeting. Seeing none. Item 6, citizens' input. Each person in the audience may take this opportunity to address the City Council on any matter which is not on the printed agenda. Seeing none. Item 7, our consent agenda. The items of the consent agenda are approved by a single action of the City Council. If any council member would like to have an item removed from the consent agenda and considered separately, he or she may request to do so.
Mr. Mayor, I do believe that we all received in our packet all of the items that are listed on the consent agenda. With that being said, I move that we accept the agenda as presented.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 8, workshop items for discussion. The City Council will consider a bid received for 3 garage doors for the Poplar Bluff Fire Department. Fire Chief Mike Moffitt. Is he not here?
No, actually, he's not, so I will take care of this one. So we recently advertised bids for 3 garage doors for Fire Station Number 1. We received 1 bid from Poplar Bluff Overhead Door, Inc. in the amount of $34,622. The replacement of these doors was included in the 2024 budget. The doors being replaced were installed in 1978. I would recommend that we approve this bid. Chief Moffitt has also requested this item be workshopped and voted on tonight due to the lengthy lead times on delivery of the doors. That's all I have.
All right.
I make a motion this be moved to the voting session to be held tonight.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item B, the City Council will consider a bid received for heating, ventilation, and air conditioning system for Wheatley School. Manager Winters.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So we recently advertised bids for replacement of an HVAC system in the Wheatley School building. We received 1 bid from Buffington Brothers Heating and Cooling. They gave us 3 options. The 2 most expensive units have lead times of 8 and 12 weeks. The other unit is in stock and was the bid came in at $34,800, including the options that were part of the bid request. As part of this request, I would also ask that you authorize the expenditure of ARPA funds to cover this unbudgeted expense. I am asking that this item be workshopped and voted on this evening to speed up the process of getting this unit replaced, as the facility currently has no air conditioning. You know, this is a building that we own, a historic building that we own, and the longer it goes without any air conditioning, you know, the harder it's going to be on that building. So.
Mike. I have a comment. I think it's a great idea to do this. We need to do it. You were talking about the ARPA funds. Can we discuss that a little bit? The ARPA funds, just as a matter of information, those have to be allocated by the end of this year. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Do we have a balance on that before and after this allocation?
Before, $706,000. So then after would be $671,000.
What other projects are?
Well, we have another item on the agenda later this evening
It'll also be ARPA.
that I'm requesting the use of ARPA funds on.
Okay. All right. That's all. I wanted to know about that.
Yes.
I think it's a good project. ARPA funds should be perfect for that.
I move we do this and move it to today's voting session.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item C, the City Council will consider a request to grant an easement for property located near Cravens Road, Highway 142 intersection. Manager Winters.
Mid-South Investments owns the warehouse property that's located at the northwest corner of Highway 142 in Cravens. The property is adjacent to Briggs and Stratton plant, and that property is owned by the City of Poplar Bluff due to some Chapter 100 bonds. Randy Parsons, the owner of Mid-South Investments, is requesting an easement that includes a driveway that is the only access to the warehouse. I've spoken with the plant manager at Briggs. They're aware and do not have any issues with the requested easement. So there, like I said, there is a driveway there now that they've been using. They're just asking for this to be recorded and just kind of legally put in place, even though they've already been using it and don't have an issue with it. So.
I didn't get a chance to review it on the ground or even on the map, but is the easement on Cravens or is it on 142?
It goes from
industrial.
Butson to 142. It travels. It's the whole length of that from Butson Drive to 142. And there's an existing driveway that's there.
I'm having trouble hearing you. I don't know if
Do I need to get closer?
you're, yeah.
There you go.
So do I need?
I'm having trouble, they're having trouble.
Thank you.
So it's not just an easement on the edge of the road. It goes all the way through.
Correct.
Okay.
It's on the edge of the Briggs and Stratton property and the Mid-South Investment Warehouse.
Is that easement just for Mid-Continent, or is it something that can be used by Briggs and Stratton also?
I mean, it's a private drive that Briggs and Stratton uses, and Mid-South Investments is used for that warehouse space that's there.
But
So it's currently being used. It's just not been legally recorded as an easement. So right now there's no legal mechanism in place that allows Mid-South Investments to use it, although they have been allowed to. This is just putting it in place formally and legally
It's
and
owned by the
recording.
city, though,
Yes.
the whole driveway.
Yes.
I make a motion that we move this to the voting session to be held on August the 5th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item D, the City Council will consider a change order number 1 relative to the Poplar Bluff Stormwater American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA, project. Manager Winters.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So you may remember we received a grant for $5 million from the Department of Natural Resources and their ARPA grant program. We had went out to bid a few months ago. Bids came back really good. We actually, after those bids, we had a little over $1 million, $1,124,181.25 to be exact, that was not allocated as part of that $5 million. So working with our engineer, Bob Summers, and the Department of Natural Resources, we are proposing this change order number 1, which will add those projects listed to the original scope of work, and will allocate the remainder of that funding from the grant.
Question.
Yes.
Is this a different contractor doing this work?
No, it will be the same contractor, RLP.
Is it the same type of work that the original?
It's all stormwater work. It has to be stormwater work, so yes.
Well, the reason I ask that is that looking at the bid, I think it's the last line item on the bid, there's a $60,000 mobilization fee?
Yes, that's
in the
pretty-
bid? Is that what's that for?
Pretty typical on construction projects. It's them moving to the job site and setting it for the job site and then
Right.
removing everything from the job site.
Right. The reason I ask that is if they're already there doing the original scope of work, this is an extension of the same work with the same equipment, the same company. Why is there an additional mobilization?
Because it's not, some of this stuff is in the same area, some of it's just different projects that have been added to the overall project.
Seems excessive to me. Seems like we could get more drainage work done for $60,000 instead of a mobilization fee that, since you're already there.
It is pretty standard with a construction contract to see that mobilization and demobilization fees in the
Right.
contracts.
I understand that for the initial bid, but for an add-on, is that typical to do another mobilization fee?
With this size of an add-on of over $1 million, yes.
Okay.
I make a motion, we move it to the voting session to be held tonight.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item E, the City Council will consider a request from the Planning and Zoning Commission to approve a conditional use permit to operate a faith-based, not-for-profit women's maternity center in a C1 General Commercial Zone District located at 1407 North 5th Street. The applicant is Recycling Grace Ministries, Sandra Shockley. City Planner James Sisk to present.
Again, this is a request to do this faith-based, we won't really call it a clinic, but it's Ms. Shockley has several other charities that's here in town, and this will be new construction, previously undeveloped property, and we have a chunk of C1 zoning in a residential area on that North 5th and Alice area there, so they've asked for the conditional use to put this in there, and there'll be probably future construction as well, so.
When do they propose to begin the construction?
I believe they're kind of chomping at the bit to get started as everything else is pretty well in place.
Well, I know Mrs. Shockley's, she's got several other places and really done a lot for Poplar Bluff and cleaned up well. And if there's not any other questions, I just make a motion, we move to the voting session on
Second.
August
Yes.
5th.
Robert, did you have a comment?
Well, I was just going to comment that the area that this is going in, it's a big improvement to that area.
Yes.
So with that being said, I think it's a great idea.
And everything that Sandra does is A1.
Turns to gold.
Yes, it does. She does great things for,
I have another question. Is this vacant property?
yes.
This entire block is previously undeveloped. There's no streets or alleys or anything that have ever been developed through there.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item F, the City Council will consider authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with the Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission relative to the Transportation Alternatives Program, project number TAP-5100014, East Pine Crosswalk, Link Park Connector Sidewalk. Manager Winters.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So this is the typical grant agreement with the Missouri Housing and Transportation Commission for the East Side Crosswalk project that was recently awarded to the city. Just as a refresher, the grant amount was $300,784 and a local cash match of $75,196 to make these improvements to this crosswalk.
I'd like to make a motion to move it to the voting session to be held August 5th,
Second.
2024.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item G, the City Council will consider the submission of a grant application to the Missouri Department of Public Safety, Missouri State Highway Patrol for funding for live scan equipment. Detective Jeremy Ellis to present.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Ellis. I am a detective with the police department. I'm also a live scan administrator at the department. Earlier last month, we received an email from IDEMA, who's the manufacturer of the machine, they advised us that our machine was at the end of life and it would no longer be under maintenance. The Highway Patrol offers a grant for a live scan expenditure program. It offers a certain amount every year towards the live scan, and it would actually be no cost to us over the 5-year program that they have. We use our live scan a lot. We used it in the last 12 months 435 times, sending submissions to them. We've also used it several other times that I don't know if they included, where we've identified people and other things associated with that.
And congratulations to our new detective.
Yes.
Thank you.
Sounds like a no-win or a
No
easy-win
lose.
situation,
It's a
so.
win.
Thank you.
I always like free money.
That's right.
You like it when somebody else screws up, huh?
That's right.
No, I thank Detective Ellis for taking care of this
Yes.
and make a motion to pass it to the voting session.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item H, the City Council will consider amendments to the City of Poplar Bluff fiscal year 2024 budget. Manager Winters.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So, council had approved the purchase of a new radio system for the police department. As part of that request, we were going to use K Porter funds towards that purchase. Just a little history on that. The police department and fire department were both left $1 million through the K Porter funds to pay for expenses for an officer or firefighter that were injured or killed in the line of duty. Those balances were to be kept at $1 million for each of those funds, and anything that was earned in excess of that could be spent on safety-related equipment that both departments have taken advantage of over time. There was some discrepancy in the original funding when I came to you with this request. So realizing that and making sure we follow the rules that were originally set by with these funds when they were created to retain $1 million original balance in both funds, I am asking for a budget amendment in two different places. The first thing, there's $372,918.01 left on the balance of the certificates of participation that were used to build the new police station. After speaking with Shannon Creighton, our bond counsel, and Rebecca Dengler with UMB, that's definitely an allowable expense for the remaining balance of that fund. So I'd like to request that those funds be used towards this purchase, and then in addition, $524,846.93 in ARPA funding to go towards it, so that we may completely remove the K Porter Fund expenditures from this purchase and maintain that balance of $1 million.
I make a motion to move this to the voting session to be held August the 5th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item I, the City Council will consider a grant application to the Missouri Department of Transportation Aviation Section for funding for the construction of 2 hangar bays for aircraft storage at the Poplar Bluff Regional Business Airport. Airport Manager Gary Pride to present.
First of all, I want to kind of apologize for the way I look. It's been a long day, and my day's not over with yet. There's still stuff going on out there. This is just the beginning of a bureaucracy of paperwork that you're probably going to be seeing. We're trying to utilize some federal money that was made available to us, almost $1 million, to construct 2 very large hangars that we are in need of out at the airport. And we already have occupants signed up for those hangars when they get constructed. Now, what you're seeing now is some of the superfluous paperwork that goes along with the bureaucracy that is our government. I've started an encyclopedia rack out there with applications and stuff that we have to do. Having said that, they have to look at this project in its totality as to what it would cost if we used federal money for all of the entire project. We don't intend to do that. We're actually going to use the federal government's money until they run out of it. And then we have private funds that are going to kick in to assist in the remaining part of it. But part of this is not just for the hangars. We're building an additional taxiway that accesses these, there's an infrastructure that's going in out at the airport also. But if there's specific questions, I'll try my best to answer them, but it's all within the realms of our city manager and his budget.
How long a process once it gets started?
They normally look at a project from beginning to end as 2 years, and we're a good 8-9 months into the paperwork.
Question, you said it's going to be federal and private dollars that's going to build both the hangars and the taxiway, so it won't impact the Poplar Bluff general funds?
That'd be up to Matt, but it's not going to exceed anything that's in the budget already.
For the airport?
Yeah.
Oh.
Mr. Winters.
Matt's fine.
Well, I know we definitely need more hangars because that airport's busy.
Yeah, just as a recent example, as of 30 minutes ago, you don't realize how our airport affects this region. When Lambert's Cafe flies, our airport is utilized for that. And, you wouldn't, sitting here tonight, you wouldn't think that. But every time they fly, an aircraft from Poplar Bluff does that. So, we reach the region. And if we had more infrastructure than what we have, it would impact that region even more. We're just doing the best we can with what we do have.
We even have a few celebrities flying every now and then.
Yes, we do.
Well, I'd make a motion, we pass this to the August 5th voting session.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gary. Item 9, action required items. A, Bill number 8565. The City Council will take action on an ordinance authorizing the intergovernmental transfer of property located at 2212 Maud Street.
Motion for first reading of bill number 8565.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Counselor?
An ordinance authorizing an intergovernmental transfer of real estate located at 2212 Maud Street in Poplar Bluff and owned by the city of Poplar Bluff.
Make a motion for a second reading.
All in favor?
Aye.
Second.
Oh, we'll get a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Counselor?
An ordinance authorizing an intergovernmental transfer of real estate located at 2212 Maud Street in Poplar Bluff and owned by the city of Poplar Bluff.
Motion for adoption of bill number 8565.
Second.
Any questions or discussion? Roll call, Clerk Phillips.
Councilman Boyer,
Yes.
Councilwoman Horton,
Yes.
Councilman Smith,
Yes.
Councilman Massingham,
Yes.
Councilman DePew,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Parson,
Yes.
Mayor Cornman.
Yes.
We have 7 yes votes.
Bill number 8565 has been adopted. BB, Bill number 8566, the City Council will take action on an ordinance amending the Code of Ordinances, Chapter 520, entitled Electricity, Article 1, Section 520.010, entitled Definitions Apprentice Electrician.
Make a motion for first reading.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Counsel?
An ordinance amending the City of Poplar Bluff, Missouri Code of City Ordinances, Chapter 520, Article 1, Section 520.010, relating to the definition of apprentice electricians.
I make a motion for second reading of Article 8566.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Counsel?
An ordinance amending the City of Poplar Bluff, Missouri Code of City Ordinances, Chapter 520, Article 1, Section 520.010, relating to the definition of apprentice electricians.
Motion for adoption of bill number 8566.
Second.
Any questions or discussion? Roll call, Clerk Phillips.
Councilwoman Horton,
Yes.
Councilman Smith,
Yes.
Councilman Massingham,
Yes.
Councilman DePew,
Yes.
Councilman Boyer,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Parson,
Yes.
Mayor Cornman.
Yes.
We have 7 yes votes.
Bill number 8566 has been adopted. CC Bill number 8567, the City Council will take action on an ordinance accepting a bid for 3 garage doors for the Poplar Bluff Fire Department.
Motion for first reading of bill number 8567.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Counselor?
An ordinance accepting a bid from the Poplar Bluff Overhead Door, Inc. for 3 garage doors for the Poplar Bluff Fire Department.
Motion for second reading.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Counselor?
An ordinance accepting a bid from the Poplar Bluff Overhead Door Incorporated for 3 garage doors for the Poplar Bluff Fire Department.
Make a motion for adoption.
Second it.
Any questions or discussion? Roll call, Clerk Phelps.
Councilman Smith,
Yes.
Councilman Massingham,
Yes.
Councilman DePew,
Yes.
Councilman Boyer,
Yes.
Councilwoman Horton,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Parson,
Yes.
Mayor Cornman.
Yes.
We have 7 yes votes.
Bill number 8567 has been adopted. DD Bill number 8568, the City Council will take action on an ordinance accepting a bid for heating, ventilation, and air conditioning system for Wheatley School.
Make a
Motion.
motion for first reading.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Counselor?
An ordinance accepting a bid from Buffington Brothers Heating and Cooling for a heating, ventilation, and air conditioning system for the Wheatley School.
Motion for second reading of bill number 8568.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Counselor?
An ordinance accepting a bid from Buffington Brothers Heating and Cooling for a heating, ventilation, and air conditioning system for the Wheatley School.
Make a motion for adoption.
Second it.
Any questions or discussion? Roll call, Clerk Phelps.
Councilman Massingham,
Yes.
Councilman DePew,
Yes.
Councilman Boyer,
Yes.
Councilwoman Horton,
Yes.
Councilman Smith,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Parson,
Yes.
Mayor Cornman.
Yes.
We have 7 yes votes.
Bill number 8568 has been adopted. EE Bill number 8569, the City Council will take action on an ordinance approving change order number 1 relative to the Poplar Bluff Stormwater American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA, project.
Motion for first reading.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Counselor?
An ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute change order number 1 relating to the Poplar Bluff Stormwater American Rescue Plan Act project.
Motion for second reading of 8569.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Counselor?
An ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute change order number 1 relating to the Poplar Bluff Stormwater American Rescue Plan Act project.
I make a motion for adoption.
Second.
Any questions or discussion? Roll call, Clerk Phelps.
Councilman DePew,
Yes.
Councilman Boyer,
Yes.
Councilwoman Horton,
Yes.
Councilman Smith,
Yes.
Councilman Massingham,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Parson,
Yes.
Mayor Cornman.
Yes.
We have 7 yes votes.
Bill number 8569 has been adopted. Item 10, our city manager's report. Mr. Winters.
You know, I don't have much other than to say that the next time we meet, we should have a new bench for us to sit at.
Yay.
Installation of that is all supposed to start tomorrow. So we'll be coordinating with Michael Pry and Lori and our court folks to make sure everything gets arranged as it needs to be once they get done. So I'm looking forward to that. It's been a long time coming. I think it was originally supposed to be installed back in February or March, and then it was April and May, and now it's July, and here we are, and they're going to start tomorrow. Also, the renovations up front in the lobby are in full force. Looks a whole lot different up there. It's a mess, but they're working their way through it, so it'll be nice when it gets done too. That's all I have.
I have a comment.
Yes.
Not on that, but I just driving back and forth on the Westwood Boulevard, and you turn onto Canal Boulevard, PP Highway. The Poplar Bluff Garden Club's done that landscaping across there. Master Gardeners, I think. And whoever did it just did a beautiful job this year. It always looks good, but they outdid themselves this year. I appreciate that. Really dresses the place up there.
Does look nice.
Any other questions, comments? If not, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned.
Usually give me a, no one ever stutters like that. It's like,